Welcome to Mulberry Learning. Here I'll be putting different educational videos on marketing. So subscribe this channel, hit the bell icon so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you can get the notification. Today the video is on marketing mix. The term marketing mix first appeared in the article entitled The Concept of Marketing Mix, written by theorist Neil H. Borden, a professor of marketing and advertising at Harvard Business School. He said himself that he was inspired by the research of James H. Culton, who described the role of marketing managers as mixes of ingredients and proposed a list of 12 elements of the industrial marketing mix at this stage. In 1960, Professor Jim McCarthy, who developed Borden's theory and kept four main points, namely the 4 P's: product, price, place, and promotion. The mnemonic feature of this approach has contributed to its success and it is widely used by marketers. The marketing mix and the 4 P's of marketing are often used to express the same idea, although they are not synonymous. The marketing mix is a concept that describes the steps and choices that the companies or brands have to make throughout the process of entering a market with a product or service. Whereas the 4 P's model is probably best known for defining the marketing mix. What is marketing mix? The definition of the model. The marketing mix is a marketing concept that includes all of the tools available to markets to develop efficient fractions and achieve their sales penetration targets within a market. Now we'll know about the objectives of the model. The marketing mix includes all of the marketing decisions and actions taken to ensure the success of a product, service, or a brand in its market. The first decisive step in marketing process, marketing analysis. Once this is done, the 4 P's model can be used as a good decision-making tool for marketing. In fact, in addition to covering all of the elements that marketers can focus on, the model is easy to use. Its distinctive name has also undoubtedly added to its success. This classification system is one of the most used in the marketing mix, both in textbooks and in real life. Now let's know about the components of model, that is product, price, place, and promotion. Product policy. A product is an offer that meets a need in the market. In other words, a product can be a physical object or a service introduced into the market to satisfy the desire or need after purchase and use or consumption. Product policy refers therefore to the choice of characteristics for goods or services offered by the company. In other words, the nature, quality, size, design, etc. It can also include decisions about brand, packaging, label, or the product range. Now about pricing policy. The price is the amount of money the consumer must spend in order to acquire the product. Pricing policy includes the concepts of fixed price, the price offered in stores, discounts, payment terms, take-back conditions, credit conditions, etc. This questions the process of fixing the price of a product or fixing the price within a range. Pricing policy whether is not fixed and may change depending upon the promotions or according to the life cycle of the product. It must take into account a number of other constraints and variables among both producers and consumers. Cost price, product image, distribution cost, price elasticity, the impact of price change on consumer demand, competition conditions, monopoly, oligopoly, competition, etc. Now let's move on to distribution policy. The P of place corresponds to the distribution policy. It involves distribution channels, distribution networks, assortment, locations, availability, transports, and logistics. The company has a duty to establish and maintain the distribution network and also to choose its sales outlets. These sales stores or distributors that will be responsible for presenting the product, ensuring its shelf availability, offering promotions, or providing advice to the customers. The 4th P, promotion, involves communication. This communication policy mainly includes advertisement, direct marketing, marketing in sales outlets, public relations, and sponsorships. Paradoxically, it may to some extent affect the price, like premium coupons, limited time special offers, for example, but it remains an act of communication and not a pricing policy. The interdependence of these policies, like the marketing term, needs to ensure that these decisions are made with the thought to distribution intermediaries and end consumers. While the marketing manager is responsible for understanding the needs and expectations of customers and providing an offer or solution, he informs customers and chooses a price that is in line with the perceived value of the product. He must then determine in the retail outlets in which to distribute the product. For the four policies, each decision must be made with the thought to target consumers and positioning of that company as to choose to adopt. Moreover, other areas must be also considered, as if the decisions are made separately, they are of no interest. In fact, the strength of all marketing mix is combining all of the elements available to marketers. The relation between price and product is essential, but not the most important one. All the marketing mix elements have an influence on others. For example, pricing must take many variables into account, including other P's, that is the brand, distribution, and the communication network. Promotion or distribution may also influence the selling price. In 1979, Paul Farris and David Rebiston examined the relationship between variables to determine their influence. Thus, a standard quality brand with strong advertising backing can easily increase the price of its products. Distribution also has been fundamental influence for the pricing policy. For example, a company cannot set its prices without knowing whether the product will be distributed directly by the brand or through an intermediary, which may be a small reseller or a large retailer. These choices have an indirect impact on distribution cost, which are a core variable within pricing policy. In short, the variables are interdependent. We'll more talk about practical application of this policy. The marketing mix can help with decision making as a part of new offer on the market or testing an existing offer. It goes without saying that we must first identify the object to be analyzed, whether it is a product, service, or brand, for example. Before building or analyzing the marketing strategy based on 4 Ps or a related model, the company must define its target market. To do this, it must conduct a market study, which will enable it to better understand the expectation of consumers and positioning themselves accordingly. Furthermore, it is necessary to perform an internal and external analysis of the company to determine marketing segmentation. Marketing segmentation is the division of market into homogeneous groups of consumers based on their needs, characteristics, or behavior. The company then follows one or more segments of the market and chooses a marketing target. Once the target has been established, it can define its positioning. Notice here that the consumers are central to the marketing approach. It is for this reason that the 4 Cs model is often preferred to 4 Ps model, even if the variables here are simply discussed from another angle. To establish its marketing strategy, the company must then answer a series of questions for each component of the model. Determine the attributes of the product or service. The first step is to determine the attributes. To do this, we must ask the following questions. What does the consumer expect from the product or service? The next question will be what are the necessary attributes of the product to meet those expectations? How, in and what context will the customer use the product? How does the product look? This question includes the appearance of the product, but also its packaging. What is the name and branding that should be given to the product? How appealing the name or the brand will be for the consumers? How is the product different from the others? Like we are talking about the competitors here. What is the maximum cost price for its sale to remain profitable? Now the next step is to determine the pricing policy. The price can be set according to the cost of the perceived value of the product. Whichever approach is seen, it must be answered the following question. What is the value of the product to the customer? Does this product have a base price? Where is it positioned according to its competitors? Does the product have much price elasticity? Can prices be lowered to increase market share? On the other hand, would raising the price generate more profit? With regards to the communication, it's just not the matter of choosing an approach. The tools available to marketers are so numerous that a special department devoted to communication is often in charge to finding the best way to reach the target audience. The bulk of sending communication is devoted to advertising. This can include the campaigns like press, like general or specialized, displays, TV, radio, cinema, internet communication, etc. Remember, even if the sale promotion is linked to the pricing policy, it is still a communication policy action. We can add previous list with other tools such as public relations, direct and indirect marketing using personalization and interactivity, viral marketing, which is often practiced on the internet, and direct selling, which involves a personal exchange between the brand and the customer. It is also useful to ask the following question. What are most effective ways of reaching the target audience? When is the best time to start the promotion? Is the market in which I am operating seasonal? What communication activities are used by the competitors? Do they influence the choice of actions? Now let's talk about distribution sides. For the place, the distribution strategy must be determined in line with the other components of marketing mix. The positioning of product or service chosen beforehand inevitably influences the decision on the mode of distribution. Promotion and place also interact if the company chooses to adopt a push strategy which is based on fixed sales force and distribution network, or a pull strategy which is based on communication to the consumer and in particular advertisement. The push distribution strategy is designed to bring the product to the customer. The company uses its sales force and its distribution policy to encourage the customer to choose its product. Impulse buying is a good example for this. On the other hand, the pull strategy involves attracting customers to the product. This generally uses communication and advertisement to encourage the customer to want the product. The product itself will also influence the choices. Is this a routine or special purchase? Is it a commodity or a luxury item? All the variables defined earlier come into consideration as they themselves are influenced by the distribution policy. For example, developing your own distribution network will influence the price and communication. The marketer will still be able to answer a number of questions. Where do potential customers go to the purchase this product? Will customers buy this product more easily in a general store, a specialty store, online, or even by post? Is the chosen distribution system easily accessible for guests? Is managing a sales force necessary? What are competitors doing? How can the model be adapted or differentiated? Now let's talk about criticism generated on this model and the limitation that it has. Effective management of the marketing mix will create value for the company in the eyes of its customers. Therefore, the most necessary condition is that of knowing the target and defining the positioning of the brand in the market. Strategic planning consists of managing all of this data with the elements of marketing mix. Establishing a model using the principles of this theory is not enough if the study of market has not already been carried out. Most critics of this model refer to the 4 P's rather than the marketing mix itself. The marketing mix, in its broad definition, consists of operational marketing tools that allow the company to target their market and achieve the expected benefits. It is difficult to really criticize marketing mix itself. More often, criticism is aimed at the approaching of it. The authors who have criticized the 4 P's typically suggest that this classification system should be improved. Louis-Michel Cavaldrel and Pierre Dubois, in their book of marketing, put forward the idea that 4 P's do not reflect the product brand, which is a link between product policy and communication policy. The model presented by McCarthy and later taken over by Kotler, however, the name of the brand which is part of product policy. Michael Cavaldrel and Pierre-Louis Dubois also claim that although the marketing mix must consider the 4 P's simultaneously, the different policies addressed are almost never managed by the same person. In fact, the marketing model which is presented as the whole, which suggests that a single person or team makes all the decisions. However, its components often belong to different sectors of the company. Thus, the product policy may come from a CEO or innovative services, while the communication policy is handled by the communication services. Lastly, we must be aware that the marketing mix is just a general tool to assist in decision making. If you look at the details of each policy, there are more other specific components to master.